Collected Essays by Valerie Lynn Stevens. True Virtue. Certain character traits and virtues, once celebrated, nurtured, and honored, have become increasingly denigrated and devalued. In Susan Cain's seminal best-selling book Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking, she expounds upon the impacts that the Industrial Revolution had on society and Western culture. The impacts which she speaks of mainly refer to those of a more intangible nature. She makes a brilliant deduction about how those inward virtues and qualities of character which used to be respected and venerated, with the boom of a more commercialistic and extroverted society rather than an agrarian and more pastoral one, began to become unpopular and less desirable. For example, purity of heart or congruency and sincerity of intention in today's society and culture are often disparagingly regarded as being infantile, weak, and soft-headed. Although, as anyone who possesses a true sense of things of a more philosophical and humanistic nature knows, the moral courage required to remain virtuous in an increasingly depraved world takes the toughest-minded as well as the softest-hearted amongst humankind to actualize its vision. Inward life, self-reflection, contemplation, and the like, it seems, have fallen out of favor. Post-industrialist society is more about transient and hollow impersonations than it is about authenticity and integrity and depth of personality and character. It's more about instant gratification rather than tenacity and dedication. Moreover, things have, as explored by Susan Cain, become less and less about the inner world, more about the outer world. And I believe this to be partly due to the human tendency to resist anything that one deems to be too frightening or painful to acknowledge, especially as it relates to the inward psyche of each individual. Of course, there are as many variations of the human species as there are in the animal kingdom. Thus, self-reflection, or generally referred to as introspection, comes easier to some than to others. I myself personally am more afraid of allowing the outer world to master me, and thus have always sought to cultivate my inward personage and character. And I also happen to enjoy the process of contemplation, often intensely. Thus, different strokes, as they say. We must be aware the devil's tactics to exalt those qualities which deserve our contempt or pity, and seek to honor and cultivate those inward virtues which make the world a much better and much safer place for our having been in.